Thanks for tuning in to FPTV News. I'm Andrew Duncan.
And I'm Ashley Andriotti. This Friday, there's a trip to Boston for a Celtics vs. Pacers game. Tickets can be bought at the information desk for just $20 and a student ID. Tickets are limited, so be sure to get them as soon as possible.
Congratulations are due to the Human Resources Department for gaining the number 10 spot in the country for their online services. They were ranked by Online U, a ranking service developed by college graduates aimed at providing helpful information about value in higher education. Great job, guys, and keep up the good work. Now let's take it over to Ben with our weekly weather report.
Thanks, Andrew. Tonight's forecast shows an 80% chance of rain throughout the day, with a high of 48 and a low of 38. Friday and Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 42 and a low of 28. Sunday will be cloudy throughout the day with a high of 44 and a low of 30. Monday and Tuesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 46 and a low of 31. Finishing the week-long forecast is Wednesday, which will be partly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain and a high of 43. This has been your weekly weather report. I'm Ben Cook. Let's bring it back to the desk.
Thanks, Ben. The Career Center hosted a resume workshop on Wednesday the 4th aimed at helping students to get their resumes in mint condition. But if you missed it, you can always go visit the Career Center, located in the New Hampshire building, and talk to Rosemary Nichols. She's always happy to help.
In national news, former Navy SEAL Robert O'Neill admitted to the Washington Post that he was the one who fired the final shot to kill Osama bin Laden in 2011. O'Neill recalls completing this deed by his other team members peeling off to search different rooms, and O'Neill found himself in the number 2 position behind the point man for the final assault on bin Laden's bedroom. When bin Laden briefly appeared at the door, the SEAL at the front of the line fired a shot and apparently missed. I rolled right past him into the room, inside of the doorway, O'Neill said. There was bin Laden standing there. He had his hands on a woman's shoulders, pushing her ahead, adding that, in the second I shot him 2 times in the forehead. This is not the only famous operation O'Neill has taken part in. He was also a valuable team member in the 2009 rescue of Merchant Marine Captain Richard Phillips from pirates off the west coast of Somalia, as depicted in the 2013 movie.
In campus news, on Saturday the 8th, a glow party will be held in Spagnuolo Hall from 7 to 10 p.m., so bring your party face and get ready to dance. Now let's send it over to Claire with our weekly sports report.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm Claire Dew, and this is your weekly sports report. In this week's sports recap, Sprint football pulled out an impressive victory over Post University, ending with a final score of 17-10. Following the victorious path, women's soccer shuts out American International 3-1, and another close but satisfying win in an overtime shutout against Southern Connecticut State 2-1. Field hockey, also following in the winning streak, knocks out Southern New Hampshire 6-1, and kicking down St. Michael's from the win with a final score of 2-0. Unfortunately, men's soccer suffered a crushing loss against Southern Connecticut State with a final of 0-5. Men's ice hockey slid in a little too short of a victory, losing to St. John's in Wales with a final score of 2-5. Thanks, this has been your weekly sports report. Tune in next week for your weekly coverage of Franklin Pierce Athletics. I'm Claire Dew, and now back to the desk.
In national news, Tuesday was Election Day. Millions of Americans took to the polls to cast their votes and determine who would be returning or not to the Senate and House of Representatives. The Republican Party scored a decisive victory by gaining a majority in the Senate, as well as maintaining their majority in the House. New Hampshire has re-elected Senator Jeanne Shaheen, beating out former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown.
Ebola survivor Amber Vinston, a native Texas nurse who has treated a sickened man with the horrifying disease in Liberia, has spoken out about the agonizing disease and her experience being questioned on a commercial flight, reminding the country that when she boarded the plane, she had no symptoms of Ebola and her intentions were never to harm anyone or to bring the disease to her beloved home. Stating, "I'm a nurse, all I do is care." Vincent also mentioned that not only did the disease physically drain her body to exhaustion, but all the questions and assumptions about her actions of returning to the States was equally exhausting. She has been Ebola-free for over a month now and plans to return to West Africa to continue to treat those harmed by the sickness.
In world news, an agreement has been reached among the political parties of Burkina Faso to to allow a transition of political power to happen over the next year until a new head of state can be voted upon in November 2015. Power has been held by the military and the interim leader, Lieutenant Colonel Isaac Zita, after mass protests forced President Blaise Compaoré to resign.
Keene police have arrested 2 more men in connection with riots near the Keene Pumpkin Festival last month. Authorities said the men were the 11th and 12th arrested, made after pictures of people involved in the October 18th riots were released to the public. Keene State College student Michael Schultz, 21, of Barnstead, faces 1 count of disorderly conduct after he allegedly climbed up a post on the college's campus. University of New Hampshire student Michael Rosette, 19, of Lexington, Massachusetts, faces 1 account of criminal mischief as he allegedly tore down a city street sign. Both men were released on personal recognized bail and will be arraigned on December 9th. Police said they anticipate more arrests will be made. Anyone with information is asked to call the Keene Police Department at 603-357-9820.
Thanks for tuning in to FPTV News. If you are interested in writing or appearing on camera, we film Thursdays at 5:30. Tune in next week for more national and local news. I'm Andrew Duncan.
And I'm Ashley Andriotti.
Have a great night.